Today we're heading out to one of the oldest mines in Death Valley. But first, a little breakfast.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to.
How's it looking? Well, we've come to a fork in the road and we know we need to go to the left, but we're scoping it out. Marty's taking a walk up to see how bad it is, if we can get our truck up there. We don't have a high clearance vehicle, and so some spots might be too sketchy. We might end up having to walk the rest of the way, which wouldn't be a bad hike because it's only about 1.5 miles, I'm figuring. Well, I guess the decision's been made. We're gonna attempt driving up. Welcome to Chloride. Look at that, we came from down there. And I'm talking way down there. Way down there. Hey sightseers, Sightseeing Sally here. I'm with Marty, who's behind the camera, and our friend Jack, who's sitting in the truck right now.
No more back there.
And we're checking out Chloride City here in California's Death Valley. Checking out the old ghost town. Over here we spotted something built into the hill. Is it a mine? Is it a house? Who knows? Let's go see.
Definitely cooler in there. It's probably where they kept their beer.
That's only if they were from Wisconsin, Marty. It's not very big. Just big enough to probably have a bed and an area set up for cooking and a place to sit. Suppose you wouldn't need any more than that if all you're doing all day is out mining for gold. You can tell from the terrain that we are in gold country. Look at the quartz that's here in the side of the mountain. Not to mention all the shiny, I don't know if that's pyrite or mica, but stuff that we would call fool's gold because it looks gold and shiny in the sunlight. A lot of what was Chloride has suffered the ravages of time.
Have you seen the eyes of Pan? Have you heard the cry of pain? Have you felt the aching hunger and tears falling like rain? Can we find a hope for tomorrow? Can we find a helping hand?
This whole place is dotted with mines. There's like mines everywhere. I thought they were mining gold out here, but apparently it was silver. Over here you got the entrance to another mine. Think I found the dump. Got some old tin cans here. Pottery shard. Chunk of metal from something. Here we've got some old broken glass, all different colors. We got like a light green here, an aquamarine here, and then of course your typical amber brown. Look at this old bottle. That glass is like super thick and you can see it's kind of wavy. Looks like an old Coke bottle actually.
Ketchup, Heinz.
Is that what it says?
Oh, but that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, it reminds me of a Coke bottle. What's left of an old mason jar? Another chunk of old glass. That's a piece of history I'm holding in my hands.
Have you heard the cry of pain? Have you felt the aching hunger?
Here we've got the remains of an old building, possibly somebody's home. You can see they built it into the side of the mountain to help keep it cool in summer. And from the looks of it, they used stone for the walls, the exterior walls, so maybe it wouldn't have been so bad in the winter. And just down from there, you've got this old building here. This one's a similar type construction. You can see the old wooden timbers that they used for the roof and the rocks that they used for the exterior walls. Again, built into the side of the mountain.
She called me, oh, like the rainbow. She called me, oh, like the rainbow.
You can see Marty and Jack checking out the remains of the old mining operations here. Jack found a big chunk of iron here. Oh, that is heavy. Neat. There's the old water tank for the stamp mill that used to be here. Now it's just a bunch of timbers and cement blocks. Look at how worn and weathered the wood is from sitting all these years out in the desert. You can see the nails here that were used to attach the metal to the side of the wood. It's pretty amazing that it's still here after all these years.
Makes you wonder what mines like this. A lot of guys, they work for somebody else, and how much gold do they find? Do they actually hide in a little corner somewhere, or come back at night to get it, or not claim it? I'm sure there's gold all over this desert that's hidden by a fence pole or in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, and how many of them died working in the mines, and probably not a big money-making operation except for the person who owned the mining claim or the mine. To keep people from going inside, they've got this mine netted off with a metal netting, which obviously is a good idea. You don't want anybody falling in there and getting hurt. The remains of somebody's old homestead, possibly. We know that it used to have a chimney because you can see bricks laying there. It might even have had glass windows. Was that an old slinky?
No, but it could have been used as something with electricity up here, where excess power was ran into that and it just used it. It was like a heating coil.
I don't know, looks like a giant slinky to me. Well, it looks like we found a few things related to Chloride City, specifically the grave of James McKay and an old structure that's still standing. You can see people have left change here, signifying that they were at the grave, and a little rubber ducky. I don't know anything about James McKay, but I'm assuming he mined out here. If you, by chance, happen to know who James McKay is, leave it in the comments section below. Well, let's go check out the structure that's still standing. It appears it hides a mine. Obviously, this was probably where the miner hung out when he wasn't in the mine digging for gold. Well, there really isn't anything left inside, but you can see the corrugated metal and the timbers that make up the structure. It's noticeably cooler in here, which makes it an ideal spot to hang out if you're going to be here when it's hot. But I would think at night it would probably be rather cold, considering the heat would probably transfer right off the corrugated metal. There isn't any insulation in here whatsoever, at least that I can tell. And then there's just some old chunks of metal. I don't know exactly what that was. And then what looks like to be some sort of metal frame laying in here, along with some stone. And then you got the mine itself, which you can see the Park Service has netted off in the distance there. But look at that. They would have had to carve all that rock out virtually by hand, making this one of the more difficult types of jobs you could have. I mean, I don't know about you, but who wants to sit around carving stone out of the side of a mountain all day long? Not me. I'll admit it, I'm a bit of a candy bleep. And that type of work just doesn't interest me whatsoever. But for the miners and their pursuit of gold, that's what they would have done. Would you believe we made it up and down over those rocks? Talk about heart pounding. But somehow, Marty managed to get us down. Hey guys! What you doing? That one looks like he wants to eat you, Marty.
Yeah. Should I get out and ride him?
Yeah. Well, we made it back to civilization. We don't have to worry about spending the night over in Chloride.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Grilling up some lizards for dinner, huh?
Lizard stew. Yummy. See whether Jim McKay would cook it for us.
Yeah.
Special thanks goes out to all our fellow sightseers here on Patreon and PayPal. Without you, these videos wouldn't be possible.